And you probably won't say it because I know I'm embarrassed for you already. So I can imagine how embarrassed you're going to be when you realize that what's one of the things I saw recently? Oh, he's the I think they had one of his sons up there or something, and they were saying, oh, he's the second ass kicker in command or something like that. And I'm thinking, are you childish little itty bitty people really serious about something like that?
That's
Like,
wild.
I mean, it is wild. It's super wild. But again, it goes back to just living in this, like you always call it, a bubble, this me society, and even people who are not going off the rails. Recently, I guess you can tell I'm a little bit excited about football and everything, but that's a newer development in my life. I read something where someone was complaining about Kendrick Lamar being the headliner for Super Bowl, whichever one is coming up. And the comment that was made was, for the past few years, it's been this hip hop stuff. And, can we look at some other genres? You know me. Not all of your audience knows me. There's not a genre of music that I don't listen to. If it sounds good, I'm going to listen to it. Do I
Mm-hmm.
have my favorites? Is there, like you said earlier, hierarchy? Absolutely. But if it sounds good, I'm going to listen to it. But here's the thing. I think I've talked to my own family about. I don't know that dude. I don't really know his work or anything. Um, but that's not even what matters. I think
Right.
one of the comments back to this person was something like, "Well, ticket sales or this, that." Like, I don't know. I don't even know what you're talking about. What I do know is, for as long as I've had football on during football season in my home, I didn't say watched it because I wasn't even really watching it then. There has been a country artist every Sunday. You
Mm-hmm.
can depend on it.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on whether or not you think that person has good vocal skills, which is not for me to judge, uh, but if you don't, it's going to sound really kind of like, I don't know, nails on a blackboard, whatever, because again, for me, not my favorite genre, not my favorite voice. But every Sunday, I wouldn't think to say, oh, wonder why they don't have, my favorite R&B. Why don't they have an R&B person on every Sunday? But you're listening to someone who you can tell is a football fan,
Yeah.
and it never occurred to them in all these decades
Mm-hmm.
that I wonder if everybody's enjoying the Sunday night football song. So, me, I hardly ever comment, but when I do, it's very nice and warm and fuzzy. And, I just made the comment like, hey, I hear what you're saying. Um, Not necessarily my first choice for halftime show. And it's kind of like what I've been saying for years about every Sunday having to listen to, you know what I mean, a country artist. I said, but the Monday night football song, I like that one. I crank it up every Monday night if I can. Not because I necessarily like any of the artists, but because it's representative,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you got what I think 80s, maybe early 90s, um, Genesis. Tell me the lead singer of Genesis. Oh no, um, Phil Collins.
Okay.
That was close. Phil Collins' song that he made famous and popular, Genesis made famous and popular, being sung by a country artist who he kills it. Like
Mm-hmm.
I can't even criticize him. And then a rap by Snoop Dogg, who I believe we mentioned him earlier. And then the percussionist, a lot of people may not know, is actually the wife of Carlos Santana.
Hmm.
If you don't know who Carlos Santana is, just look that up because life's not probably going really well for you. But anyway, so I'm saying all that to say that is to me, the music sounds good, and that's it. I just can't imagine people who are so self centered that it never occurs to them that everyone's not really enjoying hearing that screeching every Sunday night. But, it is what it is. Like, they got to get their money too, so nobody's really mad. But I just think it's a lot of nerve. I think it's borderline hypocritical to then circle back and say the halftime show, which happens actually once a year,
Mm-hmm.
right? At
Mm-hmm.
the end of every football season, not every freaking Sunday or Monday night, and complain about it. Like, what are we doing? Something's wrong.
Well, I think, and I'm sure I've brought this up before, but it's like the N word controversy. I think so. Every Sunday you have your song played, and because it is maybe the halftime show is the biggest show on the face of the planet when it comes to football. It's like, oh, why can't we have that? I mean, you have everything else, so I don't get why you can't just sit down and just be happy because everybody who has that platform, no one's thinking like, ha ha, we got the halftime show. No one's thinking that. And, history has shown for centuries who thinks that way and why they think that way. And everyone else doesn't really ride like that. If you go to Mexico, you're trying to keep all the Mexicans out. If you go to Mexico and they see you, they're not thinking, oh, based on your skin color, this is why I'm going to try and rob you. They're thinking of, oh, this person looks like they're American. This person looks like they have money. That's how I'm going to rob you. If they saw somebody else who was Latino, who looked like they had money, they try and rob them too. So it's just, it's a sad place to be, I think, in America in 2025, just where people are so worried about what other people are getting, what other people are doing, and that really shows what's going on for you. And you should be working harder to make your life better instead of worrying about what other people are saying, minding their own business. So they have the halftime show. Whoop de doo. See if you can get some artists that can come out with better songs that can come up with a halftime show. Because a halftime show is made for pop stars, is made for big artists, big groups. And if you don't have that in a certain genre of music, maybe you should figure out why. I mean, if they had like Luke Combs and Morgan Wallen and Hardy come out and do a show, you probably don't know who half those people are. But if they had that, that might be a good halftime show. I'd probably like that. I'd probably watch that. But I'm not gonna say.
Who are those dudes I like though? Dan and Shay.
Oh yeah,
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 you
yeah.
left out Dan and Shay. Those are
Yeah.
the big homies.
So I mean, it shouldn't matter because a certain genre has it that you just want to, or maybe I think most people they either don't realize it or act like they don't realize that it's really something that has to do with them, with why they don't like this, why they don't like that.